Ping, ping.
Aim.
That's a very lively sound.
A very lively sound. Tonight's a Lights On episode. We've got some
Yes.
interesting topics to talk about, and it's Mental Health Awareness Month.
I love it. It is. It's the month of May. You know what that means?
It's May Day.
Yeah.
May month.
Yay. Happy belated birthday to me.
Yes.
Yay.
Yes. Hit it, Calvin.
Let's get into it.
Step into the limelight.
Hey, hey, hey.
What up? What up? What up, Sharik? How you
I
feeling?
feel great. It's a beautiful month.
Yeah.
Best month of the year, if you ask me.
Oh yeah.
It's
I guess.
yes. I'm your girl's out here 34. Interestingly enough, today is episode 33.
Mm.
I'm no longer, which I am no longer.
Damn, we didn't time her.
My
right.
mom's birthday is this month too.
Oh, really?
At the end, yeah,
Oh,
she's
so
the
she's a-
31st.
oh,
She's
so
a Gemini,
she's a
yeah.
Gemini.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Calvin's a Gemini.
I get along.
He's a June Gemini though.
Oh, they're different, but I still get along.
They are different.
I get
They are
along.
different.
I get along.
Get sparkles.
But yes, welcome everybody.
Yeah. June birthdays. Sorry.
Okay,
Okay.
let me try this again. All right.
Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes, but welcome everybody. This is Limelight Live show on the Good News Radio as well as on themayday.com. And of course, it wouldn't be Limelight Live show without your boy J Pink K.
And your girl Sharik LeMay.
You know what it is.
And
your boy Kelvin.
Yay.
this guy.
So yes, we're going to get into these all flashlights. And if you don't know, our flashlights are our news topics, anything pertaining to entertainment news that we want to discuss. And every month we have a show entirely dedicated to these topics. And, you know, because it's crazy out here in the world.
Yeah, it's a little wild.
Yeah, and art imitates life. Life imitates art. People out here trying to get shanked. And, you know, it's all kind of things happening.
Okay.
But we're going to get into it. Let's jump into these flashlights.
Okay.
Let's
So, do you like my shirt, Sharik?
I love it.
I am wearing this.
Because I don't have one.
I'm wearing this in honor of the release of Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness, which comes out today. And my girl Scarlet Witch is oh, I love Scarlet. Wanda Maximoff. Like, y'all know I'm a Marvel fan. So I was like, let me rock the Scarlet Witch tee. And we're actually all gonna go see the movie tonight after the show.
Calvary, the whole crew.
Yes.
This is about to be lit.
The Marvel nerds from our crew, we're all going to go see it together.
Yes.
And I thought it was cool, you know, just obviously, yeah, sure, it's a premiere, it's coming out and all that, cool. But since this is Mental Health Awareness Month, I think a lot of the topics that we picked kind of veer on the line of mental health awareness and stuff. And so there's actually a lot of mental health thematic elements with the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
You know, we saw in WandaVision how she deals with grief and, you know, stability of the mind and things like that. And so in this film, we're going to see how that's expanded and what's that turned into for her. And, you know, how if gone untreated, you know, grief and mental health can take you to some really dark places.
Absolutely. And, you know, that's interesting you say that. I didn't really think about it like that.
Yeah.
But she pretty much created her own bubble when she was going through what she was going through, because
it was a coping mechanism.
Yeah, it was a part of her coping mechanism. And
she lost the love of her life.
Yeah.
She lost her brother.
Yeah.
You know, it was like
she had a hard life.
Yeah.
Then she had kids and lost them too.
Yeah.
But did she have the kids?
Well, the kids were made up.
A figment of bubble, she didn't have the kids.
Yeah.
So then
she created them through her power, which she is a very powerful character in the MCU.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited.
I'm excited too. You know, it's gonna be a good movie. A lot of people are raving about it. Really? I've been avoiding social media to not see any spoilers.
Okay.
Because I think the first screenings started today somewhere around 3
Oh,
p.m.
so we need to stay off Twitter.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Stay off. Like I'm staying away from my nerd groups because I know they got like spoiler threads going on. But shout out to all of the Marvel fans. Today's a big day for us.
I just want to know if my girl is gonna be get it. Is gonna get it.
Who?
The black girl that's on the show that was on WandaVision.
Monica Rambeau.
Yeah,
What about her?
I just want to know
If what?
if she gonna be on there.
In this film? In this
Yeah.
movie? No, she's not in this one.
Why not?
She's in the Marvels, which comes out next year.
Oh,
She's in space. If you
Oh.
remember at the end of WandaVision, you know, one of the scrolls said, "Oh, we've got a mission for you in space."
oh, that's right.
So she's got some things to handle with Captain Marvel.
Oh, I don't want to see the movie no more.
Girl,
I'm
whatever.
kidding.
I mean, do you want me to spoil something
No.
related to her
No.
in this film?
Nope.
I think you'll be rather pleased
Oh,
to what I know.
well,
So
we gonna see.
she ain't in it, but I'm just anyway.
Okay,
So there's that.
there is that. Well,
Um,
I'm excited. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna sneak in some food and turn up and be
Yes.
loud in the movie theater.
there you
Is
go.
Alvinus coming?
Yes, he
Okay,
is.
yeah, it's gonna be loud.
Yes.
It's gonna be loud.
Oh my goodness. Continuing on with the theme of mental health. So this is a really cool piece of news, and I actually got to have a sit-down luncheon with these people. But Master P, yes.
Mhm.
Master P, No Limit Soldier, Percy Miller, partnered with the designer brand Talé Blanc
Mhm.
to co-create the brand Power of Words, which is geared towards creating changes of positivity through fashion. They partnered with NAMI, which is the National Alliance on Mental Illness,
Love that.
for a portion of every piece purchased to go towards the organization, which is working on providing mental health services to underserved communities across all of Greater Los Angeles.
I love that.
This was a really incredible event. It was super private, and it was nice to see uh, this union, this partnership. The designer from Tale Blanc, like she's foreign. I think she's Italian,
Mm-hmm.
or I don't want to say the wrong thing. She might be. In any case, Master P and Tale Blanc, they partnered to create this really dope streetwear line. I got a chance to look at the collection in person. And it was really cool. And basically, what it is, every piece has a affirming words and positive words, like kind of written and embossed all over it. What is that sound? So essentially, the idea and the concept is to start your day with positive words.
That's so interesting. There was an Atlanta episode last week
Of,
that
of what?
that was about, like, how people use
Oh,
clothing.
Atlanta. Yeah.
How they're using the clothing.
Atlanta on
to-
FX.
Yeah, but you guys make sure you watch that. But that reminds me of that.
Uh-huh.
But this is in a more positive way.
Yes.
But yes, clothing and apparel can definitely be used to
Mhm.
highlight disparities and issues within our society. So I'm
Yeah.
all for it. But Master P, where he been?
Child, that's a master entrepreneur.
Yep, that's true.
I was there at the event and I didn't know he had a shoe line. He's wearing them and he was talking, he was doing some press, and then he shouts out his shoes. I was like, oh, Master P got shoes, and they looked cool.
Okay.
I was like, come on, let me get into those.
Get into all of it. All right.
But I love it when creatives do this. They use their platforms and their power to create opportunities for
Mhm.
awareness, to help the community. And what NAMI is doing, the organization, I really think it's really special.
That's dope. I'm here
So,
for it. I'll
shout out to
support.
Master P, shout out to Tale Blanc, and shout out to the National Association of Mental Illness. Um, yeah, it's a really dope partnership, and I'm glad I
love it.
got to witness it happen. Oh, and they even gifted us a shirt, which was really
Did you
nice.
bring me one?
They only gave me one.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'll buy
I'm sorry. But yeah, shout out Percy Miller.
All right. Well, let's get into this one. Your boy Ludacris.
Luda.
He is now an official alum of Georgia State University. He posted his framed degree as he comments on the side in his caption and a gown about his excitement to finally becoming a graduate of the university. He received a Bachelor of Science in Music management.
You should see the post. It's a video.
Oh
It's
my
it's funny. It's
gosh.
funny because he's got his fro out. He's wearing his cap and
I
gown.
see it
He shows
here.
his degree, but he was just saying, he's like, I finally did it. He's like, it took me a long time, but I did it, and I'm so proud. Yeah, he got his Bachelor of Science in
That's
Music Management, and
awesome.
I love that, and I love that he's being very vocal about it, and
Hmm.
just sharing, that he took his education seriously.
So he actually went.
Yeah, he
That's
went.
what's up.
Yeah,
I like that.
he
So it
definitely
wasn't
went.
like an honorary degree or anything like
Right.
that.
Yeah, he actually did it, but I think he did it over the course of like an extended,
Right.
like not 4 years. I think it was
Some headline I saw it said honorary, so I was confused.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. That's why it looked like he actually did the work. I don't know if some headline just said honorary, so
Are
I
you
don't really know.
misleading?
I don't really know.
Well, either way, he got it and he promoting it.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Shout out to
Right.
him.
Well, shout out to
we
him.
are
Give
here
yeah.
for it. And that's actually reminds me, people are graduating. Are people graduating in person this year?
Yeah.
Because we haven't had graduations.
My little brother is graduating high school. I'm going to Louisiana
That's
for his
awesome.
graduation.
Just
Yeah.
in time.
I'm just playing. I'm
But
just
it's just
playing.
in time because speaking of mental health, COVID has kept a lot of this generation from being able to really enjoy their
Yeah.
senior year of high school.
They
They had
missed prom. They missed
proms. Well, some of them need
graduation.
to
They missed.
miss prom. I've been seeing some of these outfits.
Oh, girl.
Want to be Met Gala outfits.
Mm.
Speaking of Met Gala,
Yeah,
I know we don't have it on the list, but
it's okay.
I just have to give a shout out to my fave. I have two faves.
Okay.
Blake Lively
Oh, always,
tore
every
it
year,
up.
every year.
Tore it up.
Oh my goodness, every year. Yeah.
And your girl Tiana. Those are my two faves.
Yeah. Tiana was good.
Those are my two faves. So
I
shout
have
out
to give it
them.
up to Janelle Monae. I loved her outfit this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was cute. It seemed like something I've seen her wear before, though.
No.
It just seemed very like
Maybe it might be
typical
similar
for
to another
her.
outfit that she had,
Yeah.
but I mean, just looked so statuesque.
She did. She looked great. I thought this year they did well. It wasn't anything that was like, oh my gosh, except for Blake Lively and Tiana.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, no, I think Blake Lively kind of always, like, between her and Rihanna, like they're
Mhm.
always the showstoppers.
Mm-hmm. Is that true about the statue of Rihanna?
What?
They put a statue of Rihanna.
They
up?
did.
Wow.
A pregnant statue. She
Wow.
wasn't there, but they gave her. That's pretty
That's
remarkable.
Hey, shout out to her.
Give some sparkles. I want some sparkles for that.
Okay.
And shout out to all the high school students and the parents of high school students that
Yeah.
got your kids wearing these expensive, lavish, elaborate. We didn't have all that.
No.
I had to go to the store.
Yeah.
And the one time, my senior year, confession, I was depressed at my, my senior prom.
Mm-hmm.
I had a dress made and it was nothing like what I asked for.
No.
It was so horrible. I did not want to take pictures. I felt hideous. It was a sad situation. But I did very
No.
well when I went to someone else's junior prom. So
Like looking back, it's still just as bad as you remember. Or...
it's horrible. I
Yeah.
wouldn't. I even now I'm like, oh my god, it was the worst. So.
Wow. Well, this bit of news is really exciting. So President Joe Biden today named Karine Jean-Pierre to be the next White House press secretary, with the incumbent Jen Psaki set to leave the role next week. According to the Huffington Post, Black Voices, Karine is the first Black woman and first openly LGBTQ plus person named White House press secretary. Joe Biden goes on to say she will be the first Jen Psaki says she will be the first Black woman and the first openly LGBTQ plus person to serve as the White House press secretary. Representation matters, and she will give a voice to many, but also make many dream big about what is truly possible.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm totally
gonna
here
watch
for
now.
it. I love this. This is really great.
Jim Psaki was kind of boring. It just I mean let's call it what it is. Since number 45 has been gone,
Yeah.
just things have just not been that entertaining.
Yeah.
In politics, not enough to get me to really watch.
Right.
But I like what Joe Biden is doing in terms of really putting representation out there and allowing people such as myself and such as yourself to be able to see ourselves represented in these positions. So I'm here for it.
Yeah. Biden is also bringing back longtime Democratic strategist Anita Dunn as his senior advisor. She had served in the Biden White House last year for several months after Biden was sworn into office.
Nice.
So, yes, for the women in
Yeah.
the White House. I need another applause for
Applause,
like this is
applause, applause.
this made me smile. I was very happy to see that news.
Yeah. Well, since we're in politics,
Yeah.
another thing I like to bring up stuff that's not on the list.
Bring it up. I don't care.
You know, I'm still feeling some type of way about this whole leak regarding the Roe v. Wade
Oh my.
Oh,
overturn.
listen.
It's very, very disheartening.
It's disheartening. It's disturbing. It's scary.
It's humiliating as a country.
Hmm.
There's no, anything set in stone yet,
Yeah.
so to speak. But I've been discussing with my friends, and I've been seeing so many posts, and this is one of the times that I think social media is very necessary.
Yeah.
In these times, because we're putting information out and things are being leaked, and people need to know what's happening on behind
Yeah.
the scenes because they're being so hush hush about it.
Yeah.
And you know, soon to be Supreme Court Judge Jackson is not in yet.
Yeah.
But even if she was, the balance is still in the Republican
Yeah.
favor. So this is always a play that they had been trying to do. And this is why it's very important for us to be aware and not be so distracted. I think we
Mhm.
get really distracted with
Yeah.
things that don't matter. And then things like this happen.
Right.
And I'm upset.
Yeah. I am too. I am
Same.
too. It is, like you said, it is an embarrassment. It is a disgrace. Um, and it's this whole concept about men getting to decide what women do with their bodies. I'm like,
Hmm.
what? Like
Why?
what? Like who this benefits no one. It literally benefits no one.
Those same men were screaming "my body, my choice" when it came to like mask and vaccination. All
Right.
that shit is bull.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Exactly.
Yeah.
Case in point closed.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
guys, you
Oh,
make
yeah.
no sense.
And the only thing that this is gonna do is this one, this is a very, very negative decision. There is no pro
Yeah,
to
Right.
this.
no.
But the only thing this is gonna do is you're gonna see an increase in illegal
Correct.
abortions,
Correct.
and an increase in, hospitalizations or even deaths because
And mental
not
health is
yeah,
like
Yep.
we're talking about mental
exactly.
health to have an unwanted pregnancy or to be faced with having to be put in danger
Hmm.
physically if you were to want to terminate an unwanted
Right.
pregnancy. There's just
And
women
there's
commit
just there's
suicide
too
and
many
everything
cases
else.
like you have to think about, rape victims
Correct.
and all, like there's just so many underlying factors that this isn't a decision that's like, first of all, nobody goes into that so lightly.
Right.
It's not like
I saw something. It was so stupid how the charge moving forward, like if this does go through, charge for abortion would be murder, right, or something like that. And
I didn't see that.
yeah, I saw that. Like there would be anyone that helps would also be charged with murder as an accomplice and something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, like a doctor or
Uber
whomever.
drivers,
Yeah,
taxi people.
yeah, anybody. And I thought that was so like wild because
barbaric.
yeah, because the say a woman gets raped and their charge won't be as severe as the person getting the abortion, and that's
Exactly.
so stupid to me.
Which is
Like,
insane.
Yeah.
I just think it just feels like we're kind of going backwards.
Severely backwards.
We're going backwards in a way. And it's mainly because there's such a divide. And then that's when I think maybe social media also does a disservice
Mhm.
because I've been over the weekend, for whatever reason, I just went down a rabbit hole
same.
watching
Oh, man.
these like YouTubes about Facebook and how like Mark Zuckerberg, how the propaganda that they get involved with wanting to own people's information and how
Mhm.
they use clickbait and
Mhm.
how they do the research themselves to say what's going on these platforms, yet and still they're keeping it very proprietary. And it's a shame to see that they're making billions of dollars off of us and we're killing each other and we're
Mm.
hating each other more and
Yeah.
more and more. I think to a certain degree, maybe we shouldn't know what everybody's thinking all the time. I don't know. It's hard. It's like a double-edged sword.
double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a double-edged sword.
Like, do we
It
want
sucks.
do we want everyone's voices to be heard? But some
I mean,
voices
but a lot of voices need to be heard. Some voices don't need to be heard. In this instance, I mean, it is a big resource for me. Like,
Mhm.
like it's even with Roe versus Wade, like there's a lot of conversation saying, and hold tight because they're not going to stop there. That
Mm.
they're saying, if they can come for this next, it's LGBTQ plus
Yeah.
rights.
Yep.
And then you
Yeah.
think there's even conversations about them saying, why would they stop there?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they attack interracial marriage?
Yeah.
Mhm.
and and outlaw that again. So
Mm-hmm.
and I do believe that the Wahides
He tastes.
have that capacity, because there's a lot of really mean, ugly, racist, and homophobic, and all kinds of people
Yeah.
that really don't see it for anyone else that doesn't look like them. And for what, I couldn't even tell you.
Because they have no
But
access.
it's just, yeah.
We're spoiled in a way because we live in areas that are filled with diversity.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole middle country of folk that don't
Yeah.
even come across a black person for some days on end, or
Yeah.
any person of color.
Mm-hmm.
So we just have to keep in mind, and like I said, art imitates life, and thankfully our creatives and our artists have been putting things out there and sharing their perspectives on what can end up being completely tragic. And I don't know. I'm just gonna pray. I'm gonna pray because it's sad. So, but make sure you guys are definitely looking into your local legislation because it starts at the very grassroots level. Matter of fact, these y'all know how to get these people from to stop texting me. The
Who?
law make these people that are running for office. I'm like, I text them back. I say, how do you get this number? I'm not even registered in this county. What's going on? If somebody knows, please let me know.
Okay. Yes. Oh man. In any case, well, yeah, no, thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Shout out to anybody, all women,
Yep.
dealing with this, who are affected by this. Um, stand strong, and nothing has gone into play yet. But we must stay vigilant and be prepared.
Yep. Absolutely.
This story I thought was really, really nice. To see. It's a little not old, but this happened last month, but I thought it would be nice to bring it up. So, did you know that last month was World Autism Awareness Month?
I did. Yes, I
Yeah.
did.
So, I didn't know this, but Fat Joe shared with ABC News Live about his experience raising his son with autism.
Hmm.
He was only 19 years old when he had the child, but he refers to his son as his biggest blessing. As a father, um, it taught him that, he quotes, "Life ain't easy, but we gotta fight through it."
Mm.
And he wants to continue to bring awareness to autism. Did you know 1 in 44 American children are affected by with autism, the spectrum disorder? 1 in 44.
And they don't really talk about it
Yeah,
as much. But I
yeah,
like that some of the verbiage and the language has been changing over the years.
yeah.
Instead of it being ADD, it's ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of light shed onto it, and I feel like everybody at least has someone in their family
Yeah.
that is on the spectrum, or someone that is on the
Mm-hmm.
spectrum, and it varies, and that's why they call it a spectrum,
Yeah.
because there's different levels, or not even levels. There's just different areas to where people are affected. So shout out to him for talking
Yeah.
about this. Holly Robinson Pete has been a long time
Yeah.
person that's discussed it with her son, one of her twins.
Mm-hmm.
So she's been pretty much a big advocate for that. So it's good to see someone on the hip hop side,
Yeah.
where things are just not talked about.
Yeah. And one of the things that Fat Joe wanted to say to anybody, um, he said, "You're not invisible," which I thought was
Hmm.
powerful.
Yep.
Hmm.
He wants to be sure that these people are seen,
Hmm.
and yeah, they're not invisible.
Yeah.
That they matter too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, definitely.
Okay, so this story.
Well, before we get into that, because I know we only got a couple minutes,
Okay.
you heard about Naomi Judd.
Yes.
This is all in line with this topic
Yes.
as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
She
Yes.
took her own life.
Yes. Oh, so that.
Yes.
Oh, I
Yes.
didn't know.
That's what they're saying. They're saying that Naomi Judd, she's been suffering, and she spoke about it very throughout her career, and even recently she's had issues with her daughter. She just has been struggling with mental health, and she's probably one of the first people from I can recall that really spoke about her mental health issues,
Mm-hmm.
even in interviews from like the 90s and
Yeah.
whatnot. And oddly enough, it was right before she was set to be honored at like the Country Music Awards or
Uh-huh.
something of that nature. If you aren't familiar with Naomi Judge, her daughter Winona Judd and Ashley Judd, the actress,
Mhm.
the Judd family, Naomi Judd, yeah, they said she took her own life,
Oh no.
and it just makes you think, like, to be like,
And
she's
she's
a
a country
legend.
superstar.
She's
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
legend.
Yeah.
She's a legend, and we haven't really heard from her too much, but she performed at, I think, one of these recent country music festival things or something. Like she recently, like April.
Stagecoach.
I'm not sure which one it was. But she even, just to think that here's this woman who's in her, I think her 70s or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
that has struggled with it for all these years
Mm-hmm.
to the point where she just couldn't take it anymore. And I don't know. I'm just wondering what exasperated it. It seemed as though maybe she was handling it better because life was good, her and her family was good, and we all struggle through everything. And it's not even just it's not just a black issue. It's not a white issue. It's not a young issue. You can be in your senior years
Yeah.
as well. So I just really thought that that was interesting. And of course, rest in peace to her and her family. My condolences because I remember watching these interviews and wondering, what is this lady talking about? Her mental health, she's depressed.
Mm-hmm.
And she was clinically diagnosed as well.
Yeah.
And I just remember being young and thinking, like, what? Like, what is that? But
Yeah.
it wasn't really talked about with us as kids. Do you feel like it was discussed
No.
when we were in school?
No.
Not at all, right?
I didn't. The words mental health or anything on along that lines, I didn't learn about well until my adult life.
Yeah.
Same.
It was very taboo.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And it
And
was
kind of still is, but
them over there.
yeah.
Yeah, like that don't, especially people of color, that don't happen to us.
Right. Yeah. No.
All I would get was snap out of it. You're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then just in recollection and just thinking about other people that I knew growing up, like, man, maybe that person was really going through a depression and we
Mhm.
were just shunning them off as they just got issues.
Myself, I didn't know how to, like, the things that I thought I was feeling when I was younger. Like, I had moments and I was like, was I depressed? Like, was I pretending to be happy? There are moments where I reflect back now and I was like, there
That's
were
very
moments that I reflect back there where I was pretending to be happy.
Yeah,
same
I
here,
didn't
man.
have language to understand what I was going through,
Yeah.
or support or a safe space to feel like I could talk about those things.
Mhm.
Just in our own experience. That's wow.
I just knew when I felt like maybe I was going through that, I wanted to separate myself
Yeah.
because people would make me feel bad for feeling bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we're going to get into our next couple of flashlight topics right after this. We're going to get into our next couple of flashlight topics.
You trying to buy a home, car, or make other investments and being discriminated against because of your credit score? At credit909.com, our professionals can help you remove judgments, student loans, child support, medical bills, and other erroneous and negative items on your credit report. Call 800-752-9763 today for a free credit analysis and consultation, or text credit to 909-688-5461.
Manuel Jones, also known as Zach, the original Black Ranger. Hey, and make sure you're checking out TGN Radio. Hey.
Peace, family, brother Reza. So I'm here. You already know I'm checking in with TGN Radio, black owned. So you already know that's where I'm at. Tap in.
Birthdays are meant for celebration, and when it comes to celebrating, Flour and Sugar never misses a beat. Offering custom cake designs to fit any special occasion, your cake will be the talk around town. From sushi cakes to perfume bottles, everything is always edible with flavors like Oreo, banana pudding, and our top flavor, strawberry shortcake. I can't miss. Order your special cake today by email at flourandsugarla@gmail.com or visit our website at flourandsugar.store. Or if you want to see new design, follow us on Instagram at _flour_and_sugar_.
Hey, what's up? This is Jasmine Gates. I am the host of the New Black History Maker Show, where we cover all things Black, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And we know you want to be in on this conversation. So make sure you catch us live every Friday at 3:30 p.m. on TGN Talk.
Are you looking for a daring and creative clothing line? Then look no further. Check out lucrative.com, where upper echelon intersects with the streets. And for you community-minded folks, they donate one t-shirt to a local shelter when you make a purchase. Lucrative encourages individuals of our community to create opportunities for themselves. Shop now at lucrative.com. That's lucrative.com. LUCR8TIVE.com. Lucrative. Inspire more, create more.
Wozy, it's Deshaun Showtime Watkins, and you can tune in to Compton Mania Monday nights, 9 o'clock on TGN. Wozy.
Only on TGN Sports. Got a cough, allergies, mucus buildup, or do you just want to boost your immune system overall? Well, at the Organic Option, we make it easy to get your plant-based nutrients daily with organic tinctures and herbal capsules. Just put a few drops of tincture in your water, tea, or juice of your choice, and you'll be on your way to a healthier lifestyle in no time. Super blends like sea moss, bladderwrack, turmeric, and ginger, the mucus buster. We've got the organic solutions you need to keep your body at its best. Shop now at trytheorganicoption.com and use the promo code GOODNEWS for 30% off your order. Once again, that's trytheorganicoption.com. Feed your organs.
Yo, what's up? This is Rix.
Yo, this is Rennie.
What up, Dogan?
All right. Thank you for staying with us during our commercial break. And you are back with Limelight Live again. I am your host, Shariq LeMay, as well as
J Pink K. You already know what it is.
Yes, and we were just getting into we're doing our flashlight topics, and we've been really digging into mental health awareness, being that it is the month of May, which is my month.
Yeah.
And it is also Mental Health Awareness Month.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just been so much happening in the world. And we were just discussing Naomi Judd, country music star, legend, mother of Ashley Judd, the actress, and Winona Judge, another legend in country music who recently took her own life. And just, you know, mental health knows no color, knows no age, knows no socioeconomic background. We all have our struggles and we all go through it. And I'm glad that there's a month
Yeah.
that highlights it.
Yeah.
When did this even happen? How long has it have we had?
I don't know. It's been around for a few years.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep it going, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we all need it.
Definitely.
All need it. So moving on to the next story. This is okay. When we talk about how someone deals with grief and turning their pain into purpose, I came across this story and I really wanted to share it. So, a Georgia mom opened a youth center in East Point, Georgia, to honor her son after losing him to gun violence. According to 11alive.com, the mother's name is Donnice Gordon. She lost her son to gun violence, and she says she sees the problem and wants to be a part of the solution. So she started a youth center. She says it's the perfect location because it's right by the East Point train station across from a Bank of America. It's perfect for the kids. It's safe and secure. Security and safety, which are two things that Gordon wants to give teenagers and young adults with her new center. She says these kids are robbing and killing each other, and I want to teach them that they don't have to rob and steal. Um, that's the reason you'll see Grant's World everywhere you look inside the brick building. Those words, coupled with the face of Grant Antonio Payton, can be found printed on the door, plastered on the windows, and memorialized in 6 large silver framed photos. She says, when I walk through these doors, it is in honor of him. She says he had just started working at Chick-fil-A. He was so excited to get his first job. So in order to turn my pain into purpose, I opened up a job resource center so I could help other kids find jobs. Get this, before she opened it, while she was grieving, she began helping teenagers get jobs operating out of her car. She eventually helped secure employment for more than 40 young people. So now she has this office space, where she says, that number can only grow. And that right there is, first of all, I couldn't imagine what she might have felt. In that he was only 16, 17.
Yeah.
That's
the baby.
But to have taken that, and part of her grief, part of her process was to give purpose behind it.
Yeah.
And to realize that, her son fell victim to an epidemic of gun violence. She knew she wants to be part of the solution.
Yeah.
Which is a beautiful thing. My heart.
Shout out to her.
Like,
I also see here it says she plans to have a clothing closet so that women, young girls can have clothing for when they do interviews.
Yeah.
That's impactful because so many people like, what do you wear to an interview if you don't know what to wear? And
Yeah.
We should do an episode about how to successfully nail an interview.
Yeah.
Since we got some good jobs out here.
Okay.
You know how to do it.
Okay.
But no, that's wonderful. And that's definitely something that people do. I mean, I myself, with the recent tragedy that I had, and I was able to come onto this show, and I'm now working on another project. And I even, as God will have it, I connected with someone that is in the same space and had a documentary about womb health. And I'm super excited to join forces with this person. And I feel as though this is my calling. And that's, for a lot of people, that's a good way to, express your grief.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a quote that says, grief is love's, something about grief is basically love being able to last and withstand the sadness.
That's from WandaVision.
Was it really?
Yes.
Oh,
And
wow.
and when Vision told Wanda, "What is grief if not love everlasting?"
Yes.
It was one of the
Well, it
most
wasn't
beautiful.
those exact words
Oh.
I saw, but
Oh,
that
okay.
makes sense. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I should get it on the shirt.
It was a scene where it was a flashback scene where the Vision is talking to Wanda and she's sad because she's thinking about her brother, and
Mhm.
I think she said something like, all she knows is grief, and he phrased it to her like that. He's like, what is grief if not love everlasting? And I thought it was such a beautiful moment. Like, oh my gosh, those are beautiful words. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, obviously, yes, you still feel the pain, but that pain is rooted in love.
Yeah.
And that's where, the grief stems from. So
I think the word I saw it with that phrase was perseverance.
Mhm.
It was love's perseverance.
Love persevering. That's what he said. That is what he said.
Okay. Okay. Well, then we're here. All right.
Yeah.
Well, then give me some more quotes tonight in this movie that I
Yeah.
can use. I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
But then, that's wonderful. Shout out to that mom. And there's so many parents and mothers that lose children or family members and they turn it into something really creative
Mhm.
and beautiful.
Yeah.
And it gives purpose
Yeah.
to their grief, if anything.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
remember
wonderful.
there was I think it was like an MTV True Life episode. This was
Mhm.
old. This was
Y'all
years ago.
remember True Life?
Yeah.
Oh, you telling your age.
And it was an episode about, I think, about that, parents who lose, teenage kids or something. And so there was this one set of parents who their son was into drag racing and stuff, and he passed away because he was racing his car like on the street, and he got into an accident. And so they they took that grief, but they knew he loved cars, like he just genuinely loved cars. So they opened a track where drag racers can race safely instead of taking it to the streets. And because they were like, well, these people, they want the adrenaline rush, they want this, but there's nothing wrong with liking cars, liking to move fast, but if there's a space for them to do it safely, so they started this organization. And I thought that was a really cool thing for them to do, and they honored they memorialized their son through that program and stuff. But shout out to parents who endure, and they do. Yeah. So yeah.
Sparkle, sparkle, twinkle, twinkle.
Yes. Okay, so this story,
Man,
but
oh
I get it.
man,
So we were
man.
talking about social media earlier, right? And who
Yes.
should have it, who doesn't have it, whatever. So the Met Gala was on Monday, and there was some stuff about, something came up. There was like a video, and it looked like Billie Eilish said something
Well,
crazy.
before that, Cardi was on stage. She was hosting the party, and she made just a joke that she shouldn't have made in regards to cocaine on stage. So she
I didn't know that part.
Yeah, so she was getting dragged for this joke regarding cocaine usage, and that's another thing, we're gonna get into that. So so she made this joke, so people were dragging her about the joke, and then the clip that they put out of Billie Eilish with Cardi B in the background on the stage, and I think Billie Eilish,
She said she's weird.
No, she said that's so weird. That's what she said. That's so weird. And people took it and flipped it.
It made it seem like she was saying that about Cardi B, but I think she was talking about something else.
Yes.
So what Cardi B says, according to Hot New Hip Hop, Cardi B says that she's tired of being famous after the Met Gala. She said that God cursed me with fame. The Bronx singer discussed her struggle with popularity during a live stream on Instagram after the event. She says, I hate fame. I hate being famous. I really hate it. She remarked during the stream, let me tell you something. If you ever wish to be rich and famous, don't wish to be famous. Wish to be rich. From there, she explains that she's been feeling good in recent days, hanging out with Offset and partying. But as soon as she had to do something that will be covered by the media, her mood was ruined. And she said, that's what she says. I feel like God cursed me with fame. And I can kind of imagine. I feel like I understand it. Like,
it's kind of sad. Like I definitely feel for her, because like towards the end of the clip that I saw of her live, she was like, why do I keep getting in trouble? Like I keep getting in trouble. Everything I do, I just keep getting in trouble.
Yeah.
And I think the dichotomy of her particular situation is so unique in that she wouldn't be rich if she wasn't famous.
Yeah.
She got rich because she became famous.
Yeah.
And she garnered this attention, ironically enough, for being very vocal and outspoken and
Yeah.
speaking her mind and being herself.
Mm-hmm.
And so now that she's this person who's looked at as an icon, now
Megastar, yeah.
she can't do that anymore. And
Right.
that's how she got to the, the place that where she is. So I
Mhm.
totally get what she's saying.
Yeah, I mean, she deleted her Twitter last month
Mm.
over something similar, Well, not something similar, but like she was just tired of it. I think people were bringing up her kids and stuff, and because she didn't want to go to the Grammys,
Mm.
and yeah, so she deleted her Twitter, and like I get it. I think Cardi's a personality who she wants to be a fun girl. She wants to make her art and she wants to do this and that. But the scrutiny that comes with being an artist and the level of fame that she has is probably it. I'm sure it's overbearing at this point.
Yeah. I just think just the general population, we have selective amnesia
Hmm.
when it comes to our celebrities that we fawn over. Like, don't forget, Cardi is Cardi. Like,
Yeah.
she is who she is. I don't think she meant anything ill when she said what she said. I didn't get exactly the quote from what she said in regards to the joke, but she don't really necessarily mean no harm. But you should be careful. Maybe do you think she's done media training?
No, I mean I know she has a publicist,
Is
but
that a
I
thing they
mean,
even do anymore?
oh yeah,
They do?
definitely.
Okay.
They definitely do that. But I think she's the type who's still gonna say what she wants to say.
Yeah.
Like, you can give her as much media training as she want, but remember when she was on the red carpet and they said, "How do you feel?" She's like, "I'm so excited. I feel it in my vagina." like Cardi's not you don't media train her. She's gonna say what she wants to say.
Yeah.
You might could, kind of nudge her in a certain direction, but ultimately that's just who
Yeah.
she is. Like,
Yeah.
you
Could
know,
you imagine if Joan Rivers was still alive now?
listen,
Could you imagine?
I could.
Really?
I could.
She wouldn't care, first of all.
Mhm.
She wouldn't even care. But that woman
Mm.
said whatever she wanted to say.
Whatever.
Like she was Wendy times 100.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I definitely feel for her. And then it really just, why does everybody want to be famous?
I think and I think part of that is social media.
Yeah.
Has made us think that the glitz, the glamour, the high life, the this, the that is portrayed through not just these celebrities, but now we've got a level underneath that with these influencers,
Mhm.
right? Who want to be celebrities. It's kind of like a hybrid situation.
Mhm.
And a lot of it be fake. Let's keep it real. A lot of it is fake, and so you have a generation that grew up that doesn't know a world without social media.
That's crazy to think.
I know.
about. That's
So the
crazy.
influence that they have from jump is this is what we're supposed to attain.
Yeah.
It's not the American dream isn't so much like, you get a good job, you have a family, you have a home. It's not so much that. It's not that simple. Now it's like you got to be on this flight. You got to go to this destination. You got to have this label. You have to be at this appearance, at this event. You got to have these types of friends. Your squad should look like this. So, there's a lot of influence there that is I don't want to say unattainable, but it just isn't real.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. And we're even seeing that with this. I don't want to talk about them. I never want to talk about them on this show, but this whole Kim Kardashian, Ray J situation with the videotape, and it's
The
just
sequel,
like,
right?
yeah, it's just like people knew this already.
Yeah.
Like they're literally famous for being famous and nothing else. And Ray J, and shout out to him because he's taking ownership over his mental health by going on and speaking about what he's going through and being depressed because he felt as though he's allowed them to use him in a way, use him in order to basically step over him in order to reach this pinnacle of fame. And they just took it and ran with it, and he just let it go for so many years, and now it's to the point where it's affecting him and his family life and his mental health. And he's tired of it. But the sad part is I don't think it's gonna make a difference.
No,
it's not gonna matter. If anything, it's gonna make more people want to go watch their show.
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with us?
Yeah.
Well,
I
not
mean,
me,
I wouldn't
but-
be surprised if that's a whole fabricated situation and he's getting a check somehow.
You never know anymore. Nothing seems real. So, in regards to fame, sometimes I think like one of my favorite celebrities is Beyonce. To me, sometimes I look at Beyonce and I'm like, I feel like she's lonely and sad.
You think so?
But I give her props for not being so out there on social media
Yeah.
and whatnot. But sometimes
Mhm.
it just seems like, what do you do when you're not Yeah, you're a mom and a wife, and I
Yeah.
don't know. Sometimes you can't go anywhere.
Right.
You can't just go to the grocery store. She
Yeah.
has gotten
She,
caught in Target though.
So said she
Yeah.
She
loves
got
her
caught.
She
Target
was at the Dave
runs.
Chappelle show.
She was. She
She loves her
was.
Target runs.
So I thank Cardi B for putting that out there, and I
Hmm.
hope she finds
It was a
peace.
vulnerable moment.
Very.
It was real.
Yeah, like she didn't even show her face.
Yeah.
It was just like you could tell she was really really
Yeah, they
frustrated.
give her
Yeah.
so much crap for being herself. Like they want her to be a certain way. Like no, let her be herself.
But only when it appeases them.
Yes, what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, you can be yourself as long as you're entertaining me and you're not ruffling any feathers,
Hmm.
which is
That's her whole thing.
that's her aesthetic.
Yeah.
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 Well, that concludes our flashlights.
Flashing lights.
Flashing lights.
So yeah.
I'm excited to go see this movie.
Me too. Me
I'm
too.
very excited to go see this movie.
Can't wait.
So I wanted to have a quick chat about Mental Health Awareness Month, right? You know,
Mhm.
what does that mean to us? What does that look to us? You know, how do we, identify with mental health? And I wanted to pose a couple questions to the both of you, actually.
Me and your boy Kelvin.
Yes, you and your boy Kelvin.
All right.
That's me.
When
I'm
you
your
hear
boy.
the word health, okay, just health. When you hear the word health, what comes to mind?
Well, to be honest, in recent years, mental health it comes to mind.
Yeah.
Because it's been so talked about recently, and I really do think about that. And I think
Well, take a step back. Don't get too far.
okay,
But before recent years,
before recent years,
if you heard the word health, what came to mind?
being skinny,
Okay. Okay, so weight loss,
yes,
right? Physical health,
looking good on
exercise,
the
looking good.
outside.
Yeah, eating right, right? Okay.
Mhm.
When you hear the words mental health, what comes to mind?
Depression. Like the first thing
Depression.
that pops in my
Yep.
head is depression,
Mhm.
anxiety.
Depression, anxiety.
Mhm.
That's usually the first go-to when
Mhm.
we think mental health,
Mhm.
right? And so that's part of it, yes.
Right.
But everyone's first go-to, but that's not it. We all have physical bodies. We all have
Mhm.
organs, so we all have health.
Mhm.
We all have minds. We all have mental capacity, so we all have mental health.
Right.
And so just in the same way that we take care of our bodies, right? That we
Mm-hmm.
stay in shape and keep ourselves healthy is the same way that we need to think about our minds and keeping our mental health healthy, right?
Mhm.
It's mental health isn't just one thing. Yes, the anxiety and depression is part of it, but overall anyone can be affected with varying things regarding mental health.
Yeah.
And so it's that's why it's to say that it's taboo to talk about, to say that that's something that's unavoidable. No, this is literally something that every living person deals with.
Yeah.
They just probably were never introduced to the type of language to say what it was. If you hit
Yeah.
your elbow, you know, I have pain in my arm. But if you were hit emotionally, right? If you were hit mentally and you don't have the words or the language to say
Mhm.
what you're feeling and what that has done to your mind,
Mhm.
well then that's where we run into this issue, and it's because there's a lack of education and access.
Yeah, and I'll even take it a step further beyond that. I mean, most of us we have to go get physicals.
Mm-hmm.
You have to
Yeah.
go get a physical checkup, and it could
Yes.
be to what you think or your lack of knowledge or whatever. That you don't
Yes.
have anything wrong with you per se, but
Mhm.
you go in and you get your checkup just so you can know where you are. You can know where you are physically and know what you may need to work on. Maybe
Mhm.
your blood pressure might be a little too high.
Yeah.
A little heavy on the sugar, got a little diabetes potentially.
Right.
But this is something that people do, especially when they get to be of a certain age.
Mhm.
And this is what we did as kids. I
Yeah.
haven't done it. I haven't had a physical in a long time as an adult. That's
I'm
bad.
I'm due for one. I started doing
I
it.
had one last year.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah.
Let me get back to you guys on that. I gotta
But
check.
what if mental health was on the same level
It
in
should be.
terms of how people think of it, how it's
Yeah.
perceived? Like maybe I don't feel as though I'm sad. Maybe I haven't gone through anything traumatic. Why don't I
Mhm.
just go and check in
Mhm.
and see?
And to add to that, sometimes it's not even just sadness. What if you don't feel anything?
That's
Yeah.
true.
That's
Just being
another
numb.
another level too. Yeah,
Mhm.
numbness, right? Emotional numbness, mental numbness, and that's
Mhm.
something to be considered or to be looked at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think that's a good thing to look at. And for me, I finally got a therapist
Mhm.
and it's been going. I can't say it's been the greatest.
It's a
Mhm.
process.
It's a process.
Yeah.
It's a process.
And
It's a
you
commitment.
Yeah.
definitely have to find the right
Oh
person.
yeah.
The right person. It's
It's
been
like
a struggle.
it's like finding a partner. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it really benefits the more the person gets to know you.
Hmm.
But something I was wondering about, and I had this thought. I think when you have conflict, especially if you're telling a therapist, the conflict that you're having with whoever in your family, whatever
Mhm.
it may be, does it benefit you if they don't hear the other person's side and they're only hearing it from you?
That's layered, right? I think
Yeah.
that's tricky.
I think
Um,
that's where I get in my head. If I,
yeah,
like can I be really therapized
yeah.
about this
But
situation?
I think so. I think so because essentially, I mean, you're the client,
Right.
right? And so your therapist is there to work through what you are feeling,
Yeah. What you're going
right?
Yeah.
through.
So I think they're also going to tap in how you see things because I know something that's happened for me in when I've been in therapy was I've explained the situation,
Mhm.
right? And I said that I've stated a conflict with whomever, right?
Mhm.
And so my
Mhm.
therapist, I'm talking through it with my therapist, and then they dig in and they see something that I don't see. And then they bring it up and they say, now look at it from this lens.
Mhm.
Why do
Mhm.
you think you feel about XYZ from this perspective?
Mhm. Mhm.
And I've had moments like that in with my past therapy sessions where it was like, you know what, I hadn't even thought about it that way.
Mhm.
I've
Mhm.
had moments where I've realized I reacted or said something because I wasn't thinking about, you know, a certain perspective.
Right.
And I think if you have a good therapist, if they're good, they know what to look for.
Yeah.
And so in that instance, I do think yes, you can still be therapized because they're trying to understand you. They're trying to get
Right.
underneath and understand your lens,
Right.
and then not just that, widen your lens.
Right. Yeah, for me, I don't do it because I need the validation,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel for myself, and the reason why it took me so long to even find a therapist or even really put effort into it, because I had went through so many consultations, and I'm like, I'm not feeling you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not
Yeah.
It can be
connecting.
tiring just the whole
It's
process of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
exhausting. It's
Yeah,
really
I went through that.
exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want to be validated. That's not my primary reason. Like, I
Nope.
want something to work through,
Yeah.
because clearly my life's not perfect, and I
Right.
know I'm not perfect. So there's an underlying theme here that's going on here, and that's what I'm really wanting someone to help me work
Yeah.
through. And it's gonna take a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's gonna
dealt
take a
with a
while.
situation where, I had a therapist. My insurance covered a certain amount of time that I was allowed to have it. So, okay,
Hmm.
cool. So I connected with this person and they were great. Like, they were queer. They understood a lot of the issues that, I was dealing with as an adult and things that I was reflecting on from my past. And it was wonderful.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, that was disrupted because they went to another organization or something like that. And so
Hmm.
I was given another provider that was like an interim provider that was kind of like at the tail end of the sessions that I was scheduled to have with this one person. And so it
Right.
was almost like I had to start completely new and I had a
Right.
limited amount of time with that person, but they just didn't. I was like, I don't,
Yeah.
now I have to rush this process.
Yeah.
And that's why therapy is delicate, right?
Hmm.
Because this is therapy of the mind,
Yeah.
and so for me it was so disruptive in the sessions that I really thought that I was making some breakthrough, some progress in a lot of things that I was working through with my original provider. And then when this new person came in, and for lack of better words, they were pretty novice in my opinion.
Hmm.
They didn't even approach from the beginning in a way that felt like this is someone that I want to confide in and speak to. it,
Hmm.
it it kind of felt very like they were reading off of a prompt,
Mm.
and it was no longer a matter of being able to handle me delicately. And
Yeah.
so I remember just thinking like, this
This
ain't
ain't
this
working.
ain't
This ain't
and
it.
I ended it shortly. I remember I met with them a couple of times, and then I told the
And
the
this is
clinic, I
why I
was like,
think
no.
we have to push for accessibility.
Yeah.
for these resources for mental health because it's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now you got to stick with who's in your insurance if you have insurance.
Yeah.
And for me, to be honest, I wish I can have a couple of therapists for different things because they all specialize in different things.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
having someone for grief, having someone for whatever you're dealing with your family, or if you're dealing with your relationship
Or with work.
with work.
You
There's
know?
just so many different layers. It would be dope if people can have you have a different doctor for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have an OBG, I have a family practice doctor, I
You
have,
have
a
a
dentist,
dentist,
I have an ear, nose, and throat doctor,
an eye
an
doctor.
eye doctor.
Yeah.
So there's, you know,
Because the mind is a complex thing. It's not just, it's not linear.
super
It's,
complex.
yeah.
So maybe I'm gonna do some type of
Yeah.
initiative. Maybe I need to get into politics or something because things just need to be changed.
So let me ask y'all this. So what are practices or activities that you do that that you do for self-care? Things that help you feel good, right? That kind of help you take away and distract from, you know, what's
Unfortunately for me, it's shopping.
Retail therapy.
Because I enjoy it so much, and then I
Yeah.
spend money, and then I'm like, dang, I don't have no more money.
Oh.
But no,
But
not
at the time, you were happy.
not.
Just
I'm
that-
I'm joking.
I mean,
I'm
I
joking.
can agree with you there. No.
Yeah.
For me, it's really providing a good environment for myself. So
Mhm.
when I say shopping, I'm not talking about clothes and shoes. I'm talking about like making my home
Mhm.
feel nice.
Yeah.
And for me,
That's therapeutic.
yeah, it's extremely therapeutic. And for me, really digging into that and reorganizing my home. We talked about that a
Yep.
couple of weeks ago. That has been extremely therapeutic for me. And then I notice now I'm putting lip gloss on every day.
Yeah.
I'm putting lashes on.
Yeah.
I feel organized and I have
Mhm.
a place to do these things. You have to have a good place in order to practice self-care to
Absolutely.
begin with. How can you
Yeah.
practice self-care if you don't have the space
Yeah.
to do it? So
Yeah.
creating that environment for me has been very, very helpful. And I feel like I'm getting a little bit better
Yeah.
every day.
Music takes me there. You know,
Definitely.
I'll get lost in music and enjoy that as an
Definitely.
art and really, you know, and I'll dance. I might not be that great at it, but I'll just dance in my
You
room
got
and really
gigs.
enjoy
I
music.
see you. You got gigs. You got gigs.
Food also, but not on a binge situation, but more so like I'm gonna make myself something delicious,
Yeah.
right? And I'm gonna get lost in that kitchen and
I
allow
like that.
myself to make something good. That was actually something that I was doing in the initial months of the pandemic, and I was enjoying
Mhm.
my kitchen, you
Mhm.
know. But you know, there are various things that we can do for self-care, whether that's exercise, whether that's reading, whether that's being around your friends and family.
Being around friends.
Yeah,
We're gonna go see this movie together.
exactly. We're gonna practice some self-care tonight.
Which is super exciting. But thank you all for tuning in to Limelight Live show and listening to our flashlight topics. Please make sure you are taking care of yourself and each other. So like Jerry Springer.
Gang gang.
We see y'all later.
Bye.
Step into the limelight.